Do you want to know what's better, Longview or Tyler? Well, in today's video, we are going to break it all down, so stay tuned. So thank you again for checking out our newest video on living in Tyler, Texas. Today's video, we are going to do a comparison of Longview and Tyler, Texas. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified of any new videos that we drop as we continue to break down all things in East Texas. Additionally, we are your friend in real estate. So if you have questions about making a move to East Texas, we want to be a resource for you. We cover from Tyler and Longview. We go north, south, we go a little bit further west and east also. So we want to be that resource if you're thinking about making a move. Don't hesitate. We've got all our contact information in the banner and down below. Also, if you have Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Moving to East Texas. It's a great resource for you to connect with other people who have already made a move to East Texas or are thinking about it as well. A great place to find out anything that you may have questions about also. All right, so if you're thinking about a move to East Texas, I think one of the biggest comparisons people are going to make are Longview, Texas versus Tyler, Texas. And I think there's some pretty big differences. We're going to go into some of those specifics on our video today, and maybe you'll leave with a little bit more information about which one is a better fit for you. All right, so the population of the two towns, there's going to be a little bit of difference. Longview being the smaller at about 83,000 people, with Tyler being 110,000 people. So you've got almost 30,000 more people living in Tyler. The metro of each of those, meaning the surrounding populations that's in and out of the city, I guess on a day-to-day basis. Longview is going to be about 217,000 to where Tyler is going to be about 245,000. And you can definitely feel the population difference, I think, in Tyler versus Longview, especially in parts of South Tyler where it can be very congested at times. Longview, you don't quite get that sense, especially as you kind of move through the north side. They all have traffic issues from time to time, and that's a very relative thing depending on where you're coming from. But overall, Longview is a little bit smaller city than Tyler. All right, so another thing to look at is employment. This is going to be a pretty generic stat. We're going to look at unemployment and growth rate for job. Longview has a slightly higher unemployment rate at 4.9% to Tyler's 3.8%. And I think that's going to be reflective a lot of times in the wages, and it's going to support the growth of the numbers that we see in population in Tyler versus Longview. I think there's probably just a little bit better work opportunity in and around Tyler because of the industries and the investment in those industries. Additionally, job growth in Longview is about 1% to where in Tyler it's about 3.2%. So you are seeing more jobs created as people move here. Again, there's a lot of variables and it's a pretty complex stat, I'm sure, that I'm not going to try to explain, but I think if we look at it simply, the job market is probably a little bit better in Tyler than it is in Longview. Now, when we talk about employers, there's 4 primary people in Tyler that employ more than 10% of the population, or around 10% of the population, maybe a little bit more. You've got Trinity Mother Francis, UT Health, TISD, and Brookshire's Grocery Company. They employ about 13,000 people in total around Tyler or in Tyler. The hospital making up about more than probably close to half or 3/4 of that number. That is the biggest sector of industry in Tyler specifically. Lots of people work in the medical field. Brookshire's is warehoused here. They obviously have lots of distribution centers, but their main headquarters is here. I believe this is where it started. And then TISD, the big school district, is always going to employ a lot of people across, I think, 25, 30 schools, something like that. It's going to be a pretty big employer. Now, Longview has their 4 primary employers. The first one is Good Shepherd Medical Center. That's the biggest hospital of the 2 hospitals in Longview. You got Eastman Chemical. They do all kinds of different things there. I don't know specifically. I assume they make different types of chemicals and whatnot. But in an operation that big, there's going to be opportunity for lots of work in the plant and administratively, whether it be engineering, chemically, whatever. There's going to be lots of options at Eastman. It's a great spot to be employed. Longview Regional Medical Center and then Dollar General is one of the smaller ones. I think they have a little less than 1,000 employees there, but they do have a big distribution center, and that's why it is the 4th biggest employer in Longview. All right, the universities. Tyler is going to win this this category just because these are all original to Tyler. The only university that is only in Longview is LeTourneau. You do have a Kilgore College branch in Longview, and then you have a UT Tyler branch in Longview. Those two satellite campuses are not very big. Still great schools. You get the same education, but the experience is probably a little bit different if you were a first time, or if you're in college as a young adult or whatever it may be. The experience is just going to be different at most of those outside of, say, LeTourneau. The three schools in Tyler are UT Tyler, which is part of the University of Texas system. It's a great school, definitely grown over the past, I guess 20 years once they started to build and it became a 4-year university. TJC is one of the bigger junior colleges in the state. They have, I think, like 12,000 people. Lots of great opportunities there, and they do a lot to partner with schools around the area to where you can basically get free school or scholarship basically for meeting some not super high requirements, but just to encourage people to continue their education. And then you have Texas College, one of the oldest universities in Texas here in Tyler. It is an HBCU, a little under 1,000 students, but a really great school. Lots of great history and pride and success at that campus. So it's another great option for universities here in Tyler. Now, this is the one where I think Longview is probably going to get a little bit of an edge, is real estate. It's more affordable to buy a home in Longview, Texas than it is in Tyler, Texas. When you look at the average cost of a home, it's $302,000 in Longview, and then it's $356,000 in Tyler. Now, a lot of times I think simply you can tell the desirability of an area based on the real estate prices. So the fact that Tyler is a good bit higher, 1/6 higher, is a pretty good indicator that people want to live in Tyler a little bit more than they want to live in Longview. Now, a lot of things that maybe people are drawn to Tyler for may not be of any significance to you. And if you're moving from out of state, both are really good options. And if you want your dollar to go a little bit further, Longview may be a better spot. Last year in Longview, there were 1,003 homes sold, 77 new construction homes. If we look at that same number in Tyler, there were 1,466 homes sold in Tyler, with 198 of those being new construction. So transactionally, there was about 50% more homes sold in Tyler than Longview last year, and more than double the amount of new construction. So that's going to indicate growth in Tyler greater than, say, Longview. But those things aren't necessarily important. Just think that's an indicator of some of the money coming into Tyler versus maybe a little less in Longview. But if those things aren't super important to you, then you're going to benefit from getting more home for your dollar in Longview than you will in Tyler. So there's nothing empirical to support this specifically, but the Tyler scene for restaurants and shopping is just going to be greater. I think a lot of it is going to just be present in the new shopping center that Tyler has, the abundance of restaurants, and just the growth that's in the real estate, that's in the employment sector, that's in the population. All of that is going to be greater. So there's going to be more stuff to do here because there's more people here. So Tyler's going to have a little bit more to do day to day, evening, night to night, whatever it may be. Tyler's going to offer you a few more options for entertainment. Now, one of the big things that I think overall is important to understand between Tyler and Longview is cost of living. Now, the cost of living score that we have found online and that we reference from niche.com has Longview at an 80.9. Now, to understand that, 100 is average. Less than 100 is going to be cheaper. Higher than 100 is going to be more expensive. So Longview came in at 80.9, so that's pretty low. And when you compare that to Tyler at 85.2, it's significantly cheaper to live in Longview, Texas than it is in Tyler. And there's a lot of factors that go into it. I think the biggest variable from Longview to Tyler is going to be the cost of housing, whether it be rent, purchase, all those factors. Longview is going to be a more affordable place to raise a family. Forbes actually ranks it as one of the most affordable places in the state to raise a family. So in terms of your dollar going further, it's absolutely going to go further in Longview than it will in Tyler. Another interesting statistic, I don't know that it's significant enough to note, but a lot of people, moving to East Texas is absolutely a conservative area. The Bible Belt, lots of churches, restaurants, all the above that kind of make, the restaurants aren't relevant to this, but it's kind of a joke. I always tell people that Tyler has a a church and a restaurant on every corner. And it's true, there's lots of churches and restaurants here. But as we speak to churches, Longview's a little bit more conservative with 83%, or a little bit more religious rather, with 83% of people claiming to be religious, to where Tyler is about 73.2%. And I think that's going to be reflected a little bit maybe in the voting patterns. Tyler and Longview are absolutely red areas. It's still a very conservative area, but Tyler does have a little more blue leaning than say Longview, and I think that's going to be reflective in the religious populations here too. Like I said, where Longview claimed to be 83% religious and Tyler came in at 73.2%. So about a quarter of the population in Tyler is a non-religious group. So those are just some numbers to kind of help you get a sense of the difference between Tyler and Longview. I think both are great cities. I think if you don't have anything important, or maybe you're retiring, Longview could be a better place just because the cost of living is going to be lower. You're going to get a nicer house for less money typically than you would in Tyler. Now, if you need work or there's certain things drawing you to Tyler, whether it be the medical facilities through work, the medical school, all that kind of stuff being closer to Dallas, Tyler may be your best option. It's not always about cost of living because the most populous places in the world are also the most expensive. So there's a reason why people live where they do. Like we talked about initially, I think Tyler's probably a little bit more desirable, but you can get a lot more for your dollar. Not a lot more, a little bit more rather, for your dollar in Longview, Texas versus Tyler, Texas. Hope you found this video helpful. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you found this video helpful, we would love for you to like it and leave us a comment. Give us your thoughts about what you think in Longview versus Tyler. We want to also remind you about our Facebook group, Moving to East Texas. It's a great resource for you to go connect with other people who are making a move. Additionally, we want to remind you that we are your friend in real estate. If you've been thinking about making a move to East Texas, don't hesitate to reach out. We've got our number, email, give us a call, shoot us a text, email, whatever it may be. We would love to hear from you and help make East Texas your home.